Hi everyone, it's Helen here. Thank you so much for joining me for today's tutorial. So today we're going to be making this lovely festive gift box using just our paper trimmers. So this is a really easy box to make. I've got all the dimensions listed down below. You can make this with the paper trimmers, but if you have a scoreboard, it's exactly the same. You can make this on a scoreboard as well. The dimensions and the scoring lines are exactly the same. That is all listed down below. So let's have a quick look at what type of paper trimmer I'll be using today. I have two here. This one here is from the Creative Craft products, and this one here is just a Fiskars one. This has been in my stash for years and years and years and years. The most important thing that this needs is a track here where the blade goes in. You can see that line there. If you have this in your paper trimmer, you can do this. It doesn't matter whether you have the attachment here. This one comes with an attachment for scoring. Let's see if I can take this out to show you. It comes with a little wheel just there that attaches in, and that does the scoring. You just got to be really careful not to mix these up when you are cutting and scoring. That's something that I can easily make a mistake with. So let's move over to the Fiskars one now. This also has a track, but it doesn't have the attachment there. This just has a blade, but you can get around this. Let me just quickly get a bit of cardstock. So you just pop this in here, get your bone folder, and then make your little score line. It has that groove there. That is all you need. So there it is. Fold that over, and there you have your nice neat score line, and it has all the numbers across here so that you can do all your measuring for each score line. But I am going to be demonstrating with this one today. Right, so all the dimensions are listed down below. So let's start off with the base first. You need to cut this to 8 by 8. I'm going to start this really easy for you if you've never made a box before. So I am going to trim this down once more, because when you have a lid and a base, the lid needs to be slightly bigger than the base to fit over the top. So we're going to start off with a base measurement here of 8 by 8. If you're a pro at this, then you can just jump straight in and do the actual measurement. All will become clear in a moment. So I'm going to start off with an 8 by 8. There we go. So 8 by 8 there. I'm using some green cardstock for this, and all we have to do is take a 1/16 of an inch off two of the sides. So on this paper trimmer here, there is a little notch. The first one down, it's the notch between the 1/8 of an inch. So that is literally just one notch down on this one. Let me check the Fiskars one if that one has it too. It doesn't. So this only adds up in 1/8 of an inch, so each section is 1/8. So the 1/16 of an inch lies in between that 1/8 of an inch. So if I trim that off, I will show you what that actually looks like. So I've got that lined up, trim that off, and this is what a 1/16 of an inch looks like. It's just like a little whisker. So I'm going to turn that once and do the same again. Now that has got the base of our box to be the exact measurement we need in size so that the lid can fit over the top. So let's get rid of that. I'm going to pop this back in now, and I'm going to get rid of this right up the top there, because I am probably going to use that by accident. So our score lines need to be 2 inches on all of the 4 sides. So we're going to pop this to the 2 inches. Remember to use this one here, or just go straight for your bone folder if you don't trust yourself, or take this off completely. There's a little gap here at the bottom there where that can just slide off. But I'm just going to be really careful, I think. So I'm going to use this one and roll that up and down again. And now I have my first score line at the 2 inch mark. Turn it once. So basically I'm just going to do this 2 inches on each side. There we go. I've got my 2 inches on each side, so fold those over. Use a bone folder. This is a really good tip. Always use a bone folder when you're pressing down your score lines, because you can get really nice crisp score lines doing it this way. Plus it really does help with the finish of your box as well. Nice sharp corners. Okay, so I'm going to set this one aside and we're now going to work on our lid. So I have some beautiful tartan paper here. This is from Simply Made Crafts. It's one of the paper downloads. So let's quickly show you. Here it is. It's a download. It comes like this. I'm not sure if this front page is included, but you get 6 sheets of these patterns that you see here, and I'm using this tartan one here. And for the first box I showed you, I used the poinsettias. Okay, and I've listed my printer down in the description box. It's not available anymore, but you can check out the specs if you're after something similar. I'm just going to quickly show you how I print this as well, because I do get questions on how to print things from downloadable. So I've got this loaded up in PDF Viewer, which is a free program. So I'm going to click my little print button there. I've got everything already set up. Okay, so if you have multiple pages and you just want to print just the page that you're on, you can print current, which is here. That will print the page that is on display. So I'm going to go to properties, and I have borderless checked. Not all printers will print borderless. Just double check before you buy your printer whether you want it borderless or not. It will tell you somewhere in the specifications. And I have Epson matte here already highlighted. If I wanted to do something on glossy, I can then change the standard. I'm happy with the standard print from this printer. Standard works just fine for me for printing my pages. So I'm going to click OK on that one, and here it's displaying my eco tank. That is the model number there as well. Okay, I'm just going to cancel that because I don't need any more of those. So let's move now back to this tartan sheet of paper. So this is going to be our lid. I'm going to use the cutting blade again, and I'm going to cut this one to 6 by 6. And I've got plenty big enough cut there to use for another project. Okay, so I've got my 6 by 6 now. Now I also have here on this trimmer markings and measurements that go to the right hand side of the cutting blade. So I can now use this side if I wanted to, because the next score I'm going to be using is 1 inch. So I can now do this. I just need to get my blade out of the way again. So I'm going to line that up, and I believe the Fiskars paper trimmer also has that too. It has the 1 inch on this side as well, so you can use this side as well for your shorter ends and things like that. So just double check that I have that on the 1 still. Measure twice, cut once, or score once. So I've got my score tool just there, and then 1 inch on all 4 sides. Now if you do have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Happy to answer questions, so if you do have any, let me know. Okay, just double checking I've done all 4 sides. I have. Very hard to see because it is tartan, heavily patterned. Right, so let's fold these down now. Again, bone folder, fold that down. Otherwise you're just going to have a fold line that's just more of a rounded bend instead of a sharp bend like that. Okay, so definitely use a bone folder for this. Right, scissors time. Let's do some cutting in now. So it might be easier if I did it this way. So I'm just going to cut our notches in. So I have these 2 areas here, the square and the long rectangle side of the box lid. And I'm just going to cut up the left hand side there of that line. The score line is attached to this flap. Okay, and then I'm going to taper that in. The score line's gone now. That's attached to that little triangle. That's gone. So do the same on the other side, do the same on all of those, work your way around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do exactly the same here on the base, this piece here. Okay, so I've got my 2 pieces here. These are now ready to be glued together. So I'm going to be using the bookbinding glue. Don't be worried if it says bookbinding glue. This is just a fast grabbing glue, and is excellent for your 3D makes. You're not going to be standing there for absolutely ages waiting for your projects to dry. So I'm going straight up now to the score line. And I'm just giving it a really good coverage here. You may see other YouTubers just slap a little bit of tape, double-sided tape, or a tape runner just here. That's not good enough, because you will get loose corners here. This will start coming away. That is not a good look. So take your glue and go all the way up to that score line, and that will give you a really nice neat corner. And then I'm going around the perimeter of this whole flap here, because that means it's not going to get caught on anything that you put inside your gift box. It's going to be really well made. Just go around. You can do all this at the same time, unless it's a super duper hot day. Do one flap at a time, but it's 25 degrees in here, so we should be all right. Anything hotter and I would probably do 1 or 2 flaps at a time. That has happened to me before, where my glue's dried before I've got to it. So I'm just going to start off with the first one I did. Line everything up, get everything in the right place, and then work your way around. Now this does dry clear as well, so if it does ooze out a little bit, then you're going to be absolutely fine. You can just wipe that off before it dries. I did get a little bit on my hand there, so I'm really trying not to touch my project with that part of my hand. That is another way to keep your projects nice and neat, is just be aware of any glue that you have on yourself that you can easily transfer to your project. Right, let's get rid of that. There we go. Right, that is our base made. Nice and easy. Now do exactly the same on the lid. Straight up to the score line and around the perimeter. We don't want any of these flaps coming loose or getting caught. And I also forgot to mention, I will list down below the paper that I have used to print this on as well. It's a 300 GSM super smooth printer paper. No, it's not a printer paper, but I use it a lot for my printing. It's basically a super smooth white cardstock, and it's absolutely perfect for printing. Okay, so with this awkward area here, you can sometimes have a flap that's stuck on the outside, so just fold everything in first, and then you can get everything into place. Otherwise, trying to bend this around, trying to get it in, could undo another side. And I would definitely recommend using glue for this, because you have the maneuverability, and also this stuff does not shift once it's dry. It's a really good quality glue, doesn't crinkle the paper, dries fast, and it keeps your projects glued in place for a very long time. I also use this on my mini albums. It's absolutely perfect for all of your projects. Okay, so moment of truth, let's get this popped together. There we go, and there is our lovely gift box ready to go. Fill it with treats and goodies. On this one here, I've popped on a ribbon, just a simple ribbon there, but for this one I'm just going to pop on one of my fantastic little bows. I love these little, this is called the Ultimate Bow. Here is the die set. This is the smaller of the two bows. This is the Ultimate Gift Bow die set. It's massive. I've got HG on here because I used to take this to the Create and Craft shows. Look how big the largest one is. So the largest one makes a bow this size. Isn't that perfect for finishing off your gifts? Doesn't have to be just for Christmas. It could be for birthdays or any other celebration as well. I'm actually thinking this size here would be better for this box. This should go on a smaller box. I'll save that for a smaller one. This one here, absolutely perfect for fitting onto there. Let's pretend that that isn't attached to another box. So that is how you make a gift box using just a paper trimmer. So thank you very much for joining me today. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one. All the information is listed down below, including the dimensions, and I'll see you all again in my next video. Bye for now.